Guys, welcome to Metal and Rock Zone. Today I want to talk about Pantera. Pantera World Tour, the gig in Prague, O2 Arena that I saw last night. And in this concert review and recommendation, I will talk about my skepticism and negativity towards this concert before it started, and then how it turned out to be, of course. The band and its individual performances, how was Zakk, how was Phil, how was Charlie, how was Rex. The set list, if there were any surprises there and something missing, etc. And then the show and the fans and the atmosphere. And then I'll give it my rating and stuff like that. Feel free, before we start, follow us on other social medias. We have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and that's at Metal and Rock Zone, where we share shorter clips and all sorts of other stuff, photos and stuff like this. So feel free to follow us there. And please like this video if you can, because it just helps the algorithm serving this to more metalheads. And yeah, I have some recent reviews. You might actually see that I still have some makeup on my eyes because I just went to see Kiss. I went full makeup, so you can check out my Kiss review from End of the Road tour. And then I did Iron Maiden and Metallica just a few days ago. So if you're interested in more concert reviews, then you can check that out on my channel. So me and Pantera. I remember where I was. I was driving in an old Mercedes work car with a group of 10 other guys. Year is 94, I'm pretty sure, or even earlier actually, and Cowboys from Hell comes on. And I just remember, what the fuck is this? You know, I knew, of course, I was listening to Metallica, Slayer, and these bands, but this was something different. There was some fatness to the sound. There was something, some groove that was, the drum sound was wet. There was just some dirt in this that I hadn't heard before, and obviously got hooked. But what I didn't know back then, but know now, and actually own the vinyls, there were older sins of Pantera. I mean, there was Metal Magic in '83, there was Projects in the Jungle, '84, I think, and then I Am the Night in Power Metal in '85 and '86. So they did 4 albums, one each year, from '83 to '86, which are not anywhere near to what they became. And I bought these albums because I felt really bad for them. They had been sitting at the second-hand vinyl store for a really, really long time, so I just bought them. Not that I put them on a lot, but sometimes. So Cowboys from Hell was kind of the groundbreaking album, and then we got Vulgar Display of Power, we got the, the Far Beyond Driven, and then the Great Southern Trendkill. These 4 albums are just amazing, and each of them a little bit different from the other. There is actually, between Cowboys from Hell and Vulgar Display, there's a huge development, but that kind of continued. So yeah, it's a band that I've always liked. It is a band that I never thought I would see, actually, and I will come a little bit to also my skepticism about this later, because I was excited, of course, when I saw the concert, but then I kind of felt that the build-up turned out a little bit different than I expected. The venue that this was in, that is the O2 Arena in Prague, which hosts up to 20,000 people, and it's kind of been my second home because, yeah, I saw Kiss there, I saw Iron Maiden, and I'm gonna see some more stuff there this summer. So it's, 20,000 people, and they had some nice merchandising, but what I noticed is that there wasn't a lot of people, and I was a little bit like, okay, so what's going on here? Because usually there's a long queue outside, and then at the bars and inside there wasn't a lot of people, and I was a little bit like, okay. Then I went in to see Elegant Weapons, who were opening, and it was like half full, the whole venue, and I was like, shit, what's going on? This fucking Pantera, it should be full. And then I thought, okay, yeah, maybe other people were skeptic, not just me, and maybe there's been too much negativity around this whole thing. And actually, it didn't get better because I sat down to watch Elegant Weapons, which is the guitar guy from, what's his name, Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest, and it's like a supergroup. I don't remember where the guys were from. I think one from Aussie or something like that. Anyway, I wanted to hear them because I heard their latest album, or the new album that they just put out. But the sound was so fucking bad that I gave up after half a song, and I was like, shit, what did I get myself into? And this house sometimes has tricky sound. I've seen Slipknot there in a horrible sound. And when it's not full, it echoes, like badly. And so I went out and was kind of, okay, can I get some earplugs? And I couldn't find the earplugs, so I went and found toilet paper. It's the first time that I even think about putting something in my ears, because I thought, okay, it's Pantera. All these years, I'm gonna sit it out, even though it's gonna be shitty sound and whatever. I'm gonna put the fucking toilet paper in my ear. And then my friends didn't show up on time, so I was a little bit like, I was lonely there, and started talking to some British guys, and my kind of skepticism towards the concert didn't get better because I asked them, why aren't you watching them in England? And they said, well, because Phil Anselmo isn't popular in England because of some racist stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, like I said stupid stuff 30 years ago, but no one is canceling me today. And then I kind of felt like the whole brother thing has been like really weird for me because people are talking almost like the band killed them or something, you know, like why can't the band kind of continue the legacy even if members have died or something? I mean, if we look at Rolling Stones, they've lost one, you know, like it's not like you know, Metallica didn't quit when Cliff Burton died, you know, so I felt that this whole thing was somehow weird, the discussion about Phil, this thing, and then I didn't notice, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't really felt a vibe around this, you know, I mean, this started like a year ago that we knew about this, and I never really felt that I was reading something where people were like, yeah, Pantera is back or something like that, so I was like, maybe this isn't gonna be great, you know, and then, yeah, I'm sitting there on my own with the fucking toilet paper, and my friends finally came and we go in. It's full. I don't know where these people were. I mean, if they have been in the toilets or wherever, but the house was full. And they started with a new level, and then I realized, okay, maybe my skepticism is a little bit wrong. This seems to be okay. And then they went on to Mouth for War, and then Strength Beyond Strength, which is one of my favorite songs with Pantera. And then Becoming and I'm Broken, these were the first 5 songs, and I was like, shit, this is the shit. This is fucking Pantera, you know, with all its might. And the crowd was also agreeing with me, and more on that later. I'll talk about the crowd later. So individual band performance and individual performances. So, I mean, Zakk Wylde, I don't think there's any other guitarist that I could think of that could have stepped into the shoes of Dimebag Darrell. I can't see that somehow. And it's kind of from every perspective. It's the look, it's the playing style, it's everything, and the attitude, and it's obvious that he loves what he's doing there. I mean, this guy is just, he probably sleeps with his guitar in his hand, you know, and he belongs up there on that stage. I remember seeing him for the first time in 1989, Moscow Peace Festival. I keep talking about this concert, amazing concert, Ozzy Osbourne and Scorpions and Bon Jovi and whatever. And he was playing there as a 22-year-old, and I was like, okay, this is the guy, you know, like he was so fucking amazing. And I mean, Dimebag was unique, but so is Zakk. And I mean, what I liked about his performance is that he did not make this his. He kind of makes it Dimebag's. And because Zakk has a very unique playing style, and he does a lot of this kind of squeaky sounds, which he doesn't. He does it when it should be there, but he doesn't kind of add it or anything like that. So he kind of leaves a lot of his own trademarks out somehow to honor the memory of Dimebag. Now, Charlie Benant on the drums. I've seen this guy with Anthrax live, and I was blown away. I mean, I always knew about this guy. My friend who was a drummer told me about him like 30 years ago, that there is this drummer there in Anthrax. He's really good. And in this, before I kind of knew really what was a good drummer or bad drummer, I mean, 40 years ago probably. And the guy just doesn't seem to age. I mean, he's 60 years old, he looks 40, and he drums like he's 20. And he's really doing it. Maybe the only thing I would notice, but I don't know, I don't have any comparison. I didn't feel that the sound on the drums was as wet as if Winnie would have been there. But that's an album sound that I am referring to. I haven't seen Winnie play live, you know, so I don't have any comparison. But yeah, Charlie did a great job. Now, Phil. I had seen Phil before in Denmark, like 15 years ago, with Phil Anselmo and the Illegals or something, like maybe 12 years or something, at the Roskilde Festival. I was not impressed then, but he was drunk, he was fat, and he wasn't necessarily singing bad, but it just somehow wasn't there, you know. But, and there was just, so I was worried about him, but there was just one song where I felt that it was the romantic part of this love where he kind of struggled, but otherwise he was just 110%. He was standing there barefoot on the stage. He was really good with the crowd interaction. He didn't really do too much. He just kind of spoke a little bit between songs, but then he made them sing in the choruses, and he made some fun, you know, and they played The New Level or Walk or something. Oh, this is a song that all of you have heard at least 6,000 times, blah, blah, blah. You know, like he was, but yeah, because I saw actually Bruce Dickinson try to be funny with the crowd in Prague just 10 days ago, and it fucking flunked. This was spot on. So yeah, Phil, kind of the surprise of the night, because I knew the other guys would be good. He was the weak link when it came to my kind of expectations to the concert. Rex, I've always had this curious, almost divine respect for Rex Brown. I don't know what it is. He was always kind of a little bit in the shade of the other guys because all the other guys took a lot of, I don't know, spotlight or something like that. I read his biography and I was really impressed. And he just looks cool. He's like a cowboy, you know. He's like a skinny cowboy. Probably did too much drugs or something like that, so he can't gain weight. And I was realizing that in a band like this with one guitarist that is this tight, it's Rex that makes that possible. You know, you can't play this stuff with one guitar unless you have a bassist that fucking kicks ass, and he does. And he's got a cool effects on the bass and so on. And you actually you hear it during the solos. When the solos are on and there is just him, and it kicks ass. I mean, obviously him and Charlie in a tandem somehow. So yeah, overall it was just amazingly tight. It was like a fucking wall in some of the songs, and such an upgrade from Elegant Weapons before. And I didn't use my fucking toilet paper at all, you know. And they were obviously having fun there, you know, like they liked being there, and that kind of transmits to the crowd. And yeah, I think it was just a really, really nice surprise somehow how energetic they were and how much this is not just like touring some cover songs and just get on with it. But yeah, they love being there. The setlist, guys, there were 15 songs on the setlist. There were 5 from Vulgar Display of Power. There was 4 from Far Beyond Driven. There was 2 from Great Southern Trendkill, 1 from Cowboys from Hell, obviously the title song, and then 1 from Reinventing the Steel. And that was kind of a surprise addition. There's Yesterday Don't Mean Shit, I think. Yeah, Yesterday Don't Mean Shit. And it's actually a really good song. And actually Phil said that in the intro, this is a great rock song. And it is. It's a song that I'll go back and listen to because that's, I mean, I listened a lot to that album because and that's actually an album that kind of grew on me, The Great Southern Trendkill. No, sorry, this is Reinventing the Steel. I haven't really listened to that. Now I'll go and listen to it. But The Great Southern Trendkill is kind of the album that kind of grew on me more later. So they did a nice tribute to the brothers. They played Cemetery Gates off a tape, and then they kind of segued into Planet Caravan, the Black Sabbath song, which was kind of a toned down moment, but they played photos of them, videos and stuff like that. And it kind of makes you realize how much, or you understand why people miss these guys. They were obviously a lot of fun, Winnie and Dime. I mean, that's just so obvious. I'm not sure that anything was kind of missing from the set. It was not short. Well, it didn't feel short, 15 songs, but it didn't feel too long either. And it wasn't like a dull moment, even though Planet Caravan is a very kind of toned down song, and they played that as song number 10 or something like that. It was just so fitting there, because I don't think you could have gone ahead with this without kind of paying tribute to those guys, and this was the right way to do it. So I think people cherish that moment, even though it kind of toned down the energy a lot. They did War Nerve as an extra, and that was a really nice gesture, because they usually don't do an extra. They don't do an encore. They just finish with, I think, Cowboys from Hell. Yeah, they finish with Cowboys, and then they're just off. But they actually came on, or they stayed on, and they said, okay, we give you a choice of 2 songs. Which one do you want? And it was Use My Third Arm or War Nerve, and people chose War Nerve just by cheering for it. And it was so obvious before they started that they just fucking loved it. They were chatting, should we do another one? You could see this interaction between the band. What can we do, you know? But I mean, they were ready because they had a video show and everything behind it. And about that, the show and the crowd. So the show was really kind of fitting. It was kind of thematic. It was just a big video screen, 2 smaller ones on the sides, and then there was some fire and lights, obviously, and stuff like that. But it fitted. It wasn't taking away from the music. Unlike when I went to see Kiss, Kiss was obviously wanting to draw your attention to fireworks, lights, and pictures so that you don't listen too much to the singing and the music, I guess. In this case, it was complementary to the music, not taking anything away from it. Because these guys don't need to draw the attention anywhere else. The music is fucking tight and is spot on. The value for money there for me was super high. I mean, this was 1/3 of the ticket price for Kiss. I think I paid like $50 or something for this, you know, 150 for Kiss. And yeah, this and the merchandising, this T-shirt was fairly priced. Everything was, it was good. I didn't get this feeling that this is a band that is just trying to milk us the one last time and the guys ran out of money or something and they needed something to do. They're doing this with passion. Yeah, the crowd, as I said in the beginning, I was a little bit worried because it wasn't full and the sound was really bad on Elegant Weapons, and I was like, okay, it's going to be one of those bad ones. And I was even thinking maybe I shouldn't even be here. But then, yeah, when it came on and when it hit, people just went fucking mad, you know, like, and you can see this guy here next to me that he was just the whole time, he punched me in the head a million times. He was just going fucking nuts. And I haven't seen this with a lot of bands here in Prague. I mean, the crowd here can be a little bit dull sometimes, but these guys, they just fucking got them. And I've seen this only once here, I think before, twice maybe. Once on Slipknot and on In Flames. Yeah, and if you check out some of our videos, we did some videos from some songs there, then they are all vibrating, and that's just because the people in the stands were just jumping and screaming and shouting, and it was crazy. And my friend said to me on the way out, let's see where they're playing tomorrow so we can go and see them. But we can't actually because it's Gojira tonight. But maybe, who knows? I would go and see Pantera again on this tour if I can. My verdict, a rare one. I'm going to give this 11 out of 10. They fucking blew it out of the park. The pros of this was that it was super, super tight. Like a wall of sound. And the sound obviously was perfect. The mixer guy was doing a great job. Great performance by the whole band. There was nothing wrong. I mean, like Phil was, as I said, my expected weak link, but he was fucking killing it. The energy from the band that radiated to the crowd, that was just spot on. The sound, yeah, as I said, was top notch, and I didn't need my toilet paper. All the right songs were there. I didn't feel that anything was missing. And then, yeah, they paid a really nice tribute to the brothers, and I think that was really, really great. And I was also happy that Phil wasn't up there excusing himself from some of these silly accusations that have been put forward towards him. The negatives, I wanted more. I need more Pantera, and I hope there is some sort of a future to this, but obviously probably not here in Prague necessarily very soon. And then they've obviously now pushed the bar super high, so it's going to be difficult to go to another concert tonight and see Gojira. I mean, even though I know Gojira sounds great, I've seen them many times, this is going to be hard to top. And it also maybe what this kind of leaves you with a little bit, and has nothing to do with the performance yesterday. You think about what could have been, you know, if the brothers would have lived, if the band would have continued, where would it have gone, you know, if the brothers would have been there on stage yesterday and so on. So if you can see them, go and see them. Book them at your kid's birthday, whatever you can do, corporate event, whatever. Just get Pantera. You need Pantera. Everybody needs a little bit of Pantera. They're doing a great job. They deserve our love. They're not trying to milk us for money. That's not the feeling you get. And yeah, tell me your opinion. Were you there? Have you seen them? What do you think? Are you going to see them? Hit the like button if you like this, share it and all that. And then, yeah, tonight I have Gojira. I remind you, Kiss, Metallica, Iron Maiden, recent reviews, and some more stuff on the channel. Over and out, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.